Today for the Bitcoin price, it is a possible bear trap. And why do I say this? Well, make sure you hit that subscribe button and let's get this guy to 200 views. I mean, come on, let's get it to 200 views. But on the chart, we have a shooting star, and these guys are considerably bad. They are a reversal indicator. However, we have some strong strength right here on support, right at 60,000. And we have so much going on with the US elections, with the FTX bankruptcy, where there's going to be liquidity in the markets. And what do I mean by liquidity? Well, this chart is showing you that we have a breakout in money. Basically just money flow, which is showing that, boom, once we have money, people want to invest. And especially people will borrow money once rates are lower and we are getting rate cuts. We're going to get another rate cut here just before the election. Jerome Powell is going to be pressured to give a 0.25% to a 0.5% for the U.S. interest rates. And that is going to be good because people can finance cars, can buy homes, can finance debt. And what happens when people refinance homes? They pay off debt. Sometimes they get more debt by investing. And that's what big corporations do, is they invest their money. And we're also seeing the MACD start to feel like it's going to reverse, okay, on some different time frames, especially on the daily. And right here, okay, with Bitcoin, this is such a strong level of support, but we also got rejected from a different level of resistance right at the 64, 65-ish range, where this has been a complete level where it's hard to break out. But every time we touch this, it's like being a demolisher. Every time you hit it, boom, boom, there's 2, there's 3, there's 4, there's 5. Every time the resistance gets weaker and weaker, meaning we are going to blow through this. And this is why I'm saying that this is a massive, interesting deal where we have this shooting star, which indicates a massive rejection. However, on the daily as well, we have a low, higher low, even higher low, even higher low, and we have a high. Then we have finally a higher high because we got over this guy, because previously it was high, lower high, lower high, lower high. Now we finally made that higher high, which indicates this guy is just pausing before we get to this $70,000 range. And once that happens, all bets are off. Because when we look at Bitcoin, again, we've got that support right at 60,000. And truthfully, when it comes to the U.S. elections, Trump is up. He's down a little bit today, but he's continuously up because every time this individual goes on any kind of news outlet, this is 60 Minutes, polls tank.
Bone of America's economy.
But pardon me, Madam Vice President, the question was, how are you going to pay for it?
Hey. Well, one of the things is I'm going to make sure that the richest among us who can afford it pay their fair share in taxes. It is not right that teachers and nurses and firefighters are paying a higher tax rate than billionaires and the biggest corporations. And I plan on making that fair.
But we're dealing with the real world here.
But the real world includes...
How are you going to get this through Congress?
You know, when you talk quietly with a lot of folks in Congress,
She has no idea how to do anything. It's basically just a massive recess of, hey, here we are. Vote for me. Everything is going to be okay. I've changed my views on immigration. I've changed my views on my ethnicity. I've changed my views as a Democrat. I might as well just turn Republican right now because that's what the people want. Trump 2024. And every time Trump gains, we also have a upwards movement in price. And so, again, looking at the historical deals on this month, we are down. We are down. It is only the 8th, and typically we don't see a upwards move of Bitcoin until around the midpoint of October. And once we see that, boom, we see these massive influxes, okay, which is something to keep in mind. And also, if I zoom into the monthly here, what we have is gosh, how many days have we been sideways? We have been sideways for like 274 days, which is crazy that we've had this massive sideways action for this long. This guy's going to break out. This is freaking a bull flag, okay? This is a bull flag. And boom! That's what happens in this guy. The price target for this is exponential. However, if I'm just using normal TA with patterns, it's right around that $80,000 range, okay? But once this guy breaks this bull flag, boom, we are up. And you can even say that it's somewhat of a falling wedge, which is still bullish. And that is something that I'm looking for on Bitcoin. And same thing if I just look momentarily at my losing trade in Ethereum, okay? Because you guys all want to know what's going on, and it is very odd that it's doing that. But, okay, my price target is right around the 3,500. And on the daily, we've had the same shooting star. And we've made a higher low, but the question is, are we going to make a higher high, which we've got to get above like the 2,800-ish, 2,750 range for this guy to work. Right now, the trade is down $8,000. It was down about 12. I have the entire account on this guy. And again, if you've been with me, we've turned $100 into 10 grand, and we've actually turned that into 18 grand, but we have lost 8 so far, which is interesting. And I have honestly leveraged up to add more to this trade. So now we have $114,000 at our disposal. And this is kind of like play money. We're trying to turn this into 100 grand, and because I kind of want to buy a car for my wife. So that's what we're doing with this guy. And I believe that we are in an upwards move, while also being risky. This is incredibly risky. So if you want to follow me, there is a link in the description. I love Bybit and ZoomX. Those are the two exchanges that I use. You have bonuses for both of those. Now's the best time to start because of the election that's coming up. However, you got to use low leverage because you got to have time to be able to do stuff. So people that use 40x, 100x, you get liquidated really, really fast. You can even trade spot. Spot is just a 1-to-1. So you hold on to that sucker, and if it goes to zero, it goes to zero. Here, you're borrowing money. So I'm taking 18,000 and I'm borrowing, 90 for the trade. So I have only 18 at risk for 115. I got some of my buddies with Market Cipher, and they end up trading quite a lot of money. However, they end up using fairly low leverage as well. But anyway, I digress. That is what I have for today's video. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and hang on, right? Tie a rope. Hang on. We're in the midst of a massive move coming.